So if you're watching this, congratulations, you are officially expecting a baby, or maybe more than one baby. So congratulations to you. This is kind of a general guideline to just healthy pregnancy and eating in general, and some things you can watch out for. Okay, so I work for Warren County. I do provide services with our prenatal clinic with anyone on Medicaid or contracted uninsured people. Um, so if you fall into that category and you're needing any additional care from what you're getting at the Women's Center, I do want to be a good connection with you. I also offer free nutrition consultations regardless of your insurance, okay? And I will be coming to your facility in weeks to come. So definitely be looking out for some times to block out that may work for you to meet. Okay, so prenatal nutrition, you know, we want to make sure that we're taking a little bit better care of ourselves, because now we have a whole other being or beings that we're going to be taking care of. Okay, weight goals, you can definitely talk to me about that. Um, you know, whole foods and limiting fast food and junk foods are going to be ideal. Um, Calcium is really important for healthy bones and teeth. So your dairy products, canned salmon, and we'll talk about how much fish we should be doing, cheese, cottage cheese, tofu, almonds, even a little bit of corn tortillas or cooked greens can contribute to calcium as well. Protein we know is very important, so I think we talked a lot about um, animal protein, beans and legumes, eggs, peanut butter, um, cheese and dairy. Those are also going to provide protein. Grains, we want to do mostly whole grains, looking for 100% whole wheat, 100% whole grain, cooked wheat, oatmeal or barley cereal, brown or wild rice, rice cakes, whole wheat pasta or whole grain English muffins or bread or toast. Quinoa is great. Whole wheat pitas are also available. Corn, popcorn, potatoes, those are all going to work as well. Lots of vegetables, vegetables, vegetables. Trying to do that as much as possible is going to be really good. I talked earlier about vegetables the size of your head in a day. That might be a little bit of a stretch for you, but getting about a quarter to half your plate of all your meals with non-starchy vegetables is going to be very helpful. And if you are unclear on non-starchy versus starchy vegetables or portions, make sure you're viewing some of my other videos for that clarification. Okay, so folic acid is going to be another item of concern. You should be getting this in your prenatal vitamins, and you need to start taking your prenatal vitamins. I don't care if you take it in the morning or you can do it in the evening if you're dealing with some nausea. I also have some tips on nausea, so view that video if you're in that boat. Okay, so folic acid. This is going to be in a lot of different foods, so if you are eating regularly and you are eating a generally balanced diet of these items, you should be okay with folic acid, but some people aren't. And when we are low in folic acid, this can cause what we call neural tube defect or spina bifida, where the baby's brain may not develop correctly, the baby's spine may not develop correctly. So folic acid is extremely important to get in our prenatal vitamin and in our diet. Okay, it's a B vitamin. Okay, your body pees all of it out if you get additional amounts of this vitamin, so you can't necessarily get sick from having too much of it. Okay, legumes, dark green leafy vegetables, so legumes would be like beans, peas, things like that. Oranges, those are all going to be great folate sources. Whole grains. You need, if you are buying a supplement or look on your prenatal vitamin, you need about 400 micrograms a day. Micrograms, okay? So that's something, if you're like, I don't know, milligram from microgram to things like that, come ask me, come see me. I'd be more than happy to look at your vitamins and how much is in it, and I can tell you kind of what to look for. Okay, so let's flip to the back. So seafood, all right? some types of fish contain mercury. In high doses, this metal is harmful for the baby's brain and nervous system, but mercury generally is everywhere. Fish do absorb a little bit more than that, and cooking does not destroy mercury. So large predator fish usually accumulate the most mercury. I will go over in more detail in another video red, green, yellow fish as far as what's okay, what's not, what do I need to absolutely avoid. All right. Um, so the FDA and EPA recommended that women who are pregnant or nursing and young children eat between 2 to 3 servings per week of low mercury seafood such as salmon, shrimp, cod, tilapia, and light canned tuna. Light is going to be best. Some of those albacore, those yellow tail are going to have a lot more mercury. So light canned tuna is going to be the best. The FDA recommends that pregnant women eat no more than 12 ounces per week of canned chunk light tuna and no more than 6 ounces per week of canned solid white or albacore tuna. Fish that are shark, swordfish, king mackerel, tilefish, those are going to be some of the highest in mercury. Okay. Foods that are considered low in mercury and high in healthy fats, these are the good ones we can have. Herring, mackerel, you know, rainbow trout, salmon, doesn't matter whether it's wild or farm raised, sardines, shad, and whitefish, okay? So those are going to be some examples of some fish that we can have. And I do plan on having a brochure of, again, those green, yellow, red fish that you guys can take and put in your pocket or in your purse as well, in your wallet. Okay, so that will be kind of a good guide for you. I also want to show you another type of canned salmon that is actually recommended by the Pregnancy Foundation as being low mercury. So let's see if I can find it. Here it is. You can find this, I know you can definitely find this at Kroger. You may be able to find this at Walmart as well. So it is not nearly this much money, okay? This is just if we order it online. It's Safe Catch brand Wild Alaska Pink Salmon. You will pay a little bit more than this, but if you look, it is the only brand to test every fish. Great for athletes, kids, and pregnant women. The American Pregnancy Association has approved this. It's high in omega-3s for healthy fats. Doesn't have any sort of GMOs. So it's skinless and boneless. So we may not, but look at this. It has about a little over half of your daily vitamin D needs. Okay, so there are some really great benefits of this. It has 21 grams of protein. I recommend 20 grams of protein with every meal and snack, so we check that box. This is only a 2.5 ounce pouch, and they do have larger ones as well. No sugar added. It's generally pretty low in sodium. Okay, so this is a great option for you all. You know, fish are going to have a little bit of sodium because they swim in salt water, some of them. I know this is a freshwater fish. But those are some things that we could do, okay? This has over 30 times stricter mercury limit than the FDA. So this is kind of the best if you are wanting to be extra, extra safe. All right? So let's get a little bit more into other fish stuff. So if you're fishing in a lake or stream, maybe you are like a hunter, things like that, limit yourself to 1 meal per week of sport fish, okay, just to be safe. So like I know my fiance, his dad will fillet some crappie, so if I were to get pregnant, I'd probably only want to do like, you know, no more than 6 ounces, okay, for a child 2 ounces. All right, smoking, alcohol, and drugs, we don't want to do it, okay. You know, no vaping, let's try to avoid that at all costs. Our nutrient needs are going to be affected by those choices as well, and you already are so, you know, you already need so many more nutrients just being pregnant. So by adding those substances, you know, in addition to all the other issues they cause, it does cause you some nutritional barriers to overcome as well. So let's try to decrease those barriers as much as possible. Breastfeeding. Okay, so breastfeeding is a really great choice. I don't think you're any less of a mother if it's hard and it doesn't work out for you, or if you don't decide it from the beginning. But You've been exposed to all kinds of germs, so your immune system responds by building antibodies. Those immunities or antigens in your bloodstream will be given directly to your baby through breastfeeding. Formula works just as well. If you need involved with our Women, Infant, Children WIC program, let me know. They provide help with breastfeeding and with formula, and I know the Women's Center is definitely helpful with that as well. Formula can also be purchased at the grocery store. Let me get in here. Let me talk to you. I'm going to talk a little bit about some other benefits of breastfeeding. All right, I got it. So, some other benefits of breastfeeding. Usually, babies are getting fewer ear infections. Visual acuity is usually higher. Higher IQ, safer cholesterol levels, usually fewer respiratory infections, less likely to get juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, so healthier joints and muscles. Usually fewer urinary tract infections. I was not a breastfed baby. I dealt with urinary tract infections a lot as a kid. Less likely to suffer from appendicitis, less allergic with fewer allergies, maybe fewer signs of eczema. Human milk is easier on a baby's kidneys usually because it has less salt and less protein. Babies need a little bit less protein and a little bit more fat content. Heart and circulatory system, usually resting heart rate's a little bit lower, which indicates a healthier person. Less need for orthodontics in children that are breastfeeding. That'll save you some money. And obviously, you are saving money not buying formula. You already had to buy diapers. You already had to buy so much for the baby. So it is very cost beneficial. If you are interested in a pump or anything like that, the Women's Center can definitely connect you with that. So those are some really great things to consider. Digestive system oftentimes is better as well, less risk of Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis in adulthood, which are major digestive issues. So definitely that's something to keep in mind. Alright, let's move on to foodborne illness and listeria. So that's a type of bacteria found all around us. Eating hot dogs, lunch, or deli meats unless they're reheated or until steaming hot. So just make sure they're well cooked. Getting juice from hot dog packages on other foods. Just make sure you're not cross-contaminating with any sort of raw foods, okay? Washing all your utensils when you are dealing with raw meat. Do not eat refrigerated meat spreads. Oftentimes those may have some raw meat or some unpasteurized things in them. Pasteurized good, unpasteurized not, okay? Not great for the immune system. We don't want to expose, the baby does not have nearly the gut bacteria or the immune system to handle those unpasteurized raw milks or anything like that, okay? Oftentimes soft cheeses such as brie, feta, camembert, blue vein cheeses, and Mexican style cheeses may have unpasteurized milk. However, a lot of them are pasteurized. So look on the label at the ingredients. Is it saying pasteurized milk? Okay. Use all refrigerated perishable items that are pre-cooked and ready to eat as soon as possible. So I would not go much longer than 4 days in terms of waiting on leftover food to eat. Clean your refrigerator regularly. Your refrigerator should stay at 40 degrees or below. I would argue your freezer should be around 0 degrees. So take a good look at that. Make sure you're cleaning your refrigerator. I think once a month is a good, once a month is a good kind of marker for that. So it goes over some symptoms of listeria. I'll let you read over that. I will provide the visuals. Okay, so these are going to be some of the things that you can do to help you have the most successful pregnancy and make sure you and your baby are your healthiest. So please enjoy this video. Definitely make sure that you have this for reference. And congratulations again.